Well, look who's here. I expected you half-pints to come crawling round here at some point. Well, go on then. Show me what you've got, fairists.
Hello Internet, welcome to SMG4 Theory, the show that will dive into everyone's business, even if it puts a bounty on our heads. I'm your host, NickRick Games, and it looks like the end of the Karen arc is almost here, with a suspected movie coming up real soon. So you know what that means, it's time for us to get our tinfoil hats on and get to theorizing once more. So, for quick context on what the previous episode entailed, Karen and SMG4 attempted to interrogate Mario as to where the kids are, but Mr. Weapons in the form of a metal arm frees and guides Mario to his skyscraper, so that he would lead Karen and SMG4 to where Mr. Weapons wants Karen to be. And while Mario was distracting the two with the metal arm, SMG4 gets injured, but not killed, so Mario takes him away to deal with his injuries. After that, Karen reaches the top of the skyscraper and confronts the metal arm. And as Mr. Weapons speaks through the radio, Karen instantly recognizes the voice of Mr. Weapons, and given what she says after this, it's 100% confirmed that Mr. Weapons is the father. And it is shown that Mr. Weapons has been tracking down Karen and her kids for a very long time, until eventually finding her, taking the kids, and meeting Karen again after so long. This is where the episode ends. So now, moving on to our theory for the up-and-coming movie. Let's start with the start of the movie. I believe that it'll start right where the last episode ended on, with Karen at the top of the skyscraper to which Mario will meet her there. After a talk, they'll dash over to her house, which is where Mr. Weapons will make his grand reveal, which can lead to two ways. Either Karen and Mr. Weapons will be having a tug-of-war with the kids throughout the movie, which is the most likely theory, but another possibility is that after a definite fight, they actually kind of work out their differences a bit. Not fully, but only a bit. Going with the former theory, I believe that throughout the middle of the movie, we will be diving more into Karen's past, including her connections with her parents, Mr. Weapons, Hitman Inc., her kids, and the SMG4 crew. This will be done not only to flesh out her character and contribute to completing her character arc, but also develop her family, to which will either lead to a happy reunion or a strong connection with just Karen and her kids, depending on the path that Mr. Weapons goes down. Another element that could get involved in this part will be Hitman Inc. themselves, who will definitely be either giving Karen and or Mr. Weapons a hit on someone. A few possibilities are themselves to prevent a reunion, or someone like Marty, as this arc likes to bring back previous elements from the build-up episodes to the main arc itself. Like how Minecraft was brought back from the parenting episode, leaving the only major elements to be brought back being Marty and Hitman Inc. Now, how will this movie end? One thing is for certain is that it will definitely have some kind of final battle, but against who? The three main options to consider are Mr. Weapons, if he and Karen don't reunite, and so they will fight over whoever takes care of the kids. Marty, if he does come back, will try to finish what he started with his terrorist acts, and the third option being Hitman Inc., as perhaps they try to give Karen and Mr. Weapons either the hit on themselves or someone else like Mario or SMG4. But Karen and Mr. Weapons do not go through with it, as it is an insane thing to do. And so, Hitman Inc. would try to kill off Karen and Mr. Weapons themselves, to which, like always, the good guys will win, in which everything will be resolved, depending on what paths everyone takes. Now, one last thing before we end off. Will Mr. Puzzles return in this arc? If he does, then I believe the best course of action for his return will be a cliffhanger at the end of the movie, with whoever the villain is getting thrown into prison and ending up meeting Mr. Puzzles in some way, leading to whatever will come next. But hey, that's just a theory. An SMG4 theory. Thanks for watching.
Not bad at all. Let's see how this all concludes, eh? Even I'm eager to see what happens.